There is a big talk on the news about things happening that would change life for all people in the lands of all countries. And when you understand life and how anything in the world is going to make a difference in your life, it's important to work together with other people for safety. And when you think there's a lot of problems everywhere, it's very important to make sure that you have a safe place to go and that you can get everything you need. So it's important to work together in times like this. In times like this, for the people, when you think that it's dangerous in many places, and there is a big danger about getting things you need, it's important at that time to talk to everyone, to talk with each other, and to work together. It's an important time when those things are in danger. So it's important to talk about this, what's happening in the news, and there is a difference in um, the things that are happening in the world that will change the life of people. You could say or look for the reason and help make the everything better when you learn the reason and you know more about the problem. There are things that are happening that change everyone's life, and it's happening because of the government, all of the different governments. So there are those things that are happening. There is a difference in the life for the people of the land because of the things that the governments are doing. There are also things that are happening that's making it different in the life of people because of the army. And there are things that are happening in people's life that are different because all of the people. So if you want to say what in the world is important about the way that the people's life are changing, you say there's the governments, there is the armies, and there's the people. It's important to talk about the things that are happening, talk with the people who it's happening to, and to learn to share information and to work together to make everything safer. So you can help make it safer. You can help make it safer by uh, uh, going to the things that the government's doing, going to the things that the army is doing, and going to the things that the people are doing. I think that the United States is important in uh, this time when the governments are doing things that will make life different for people. United States of America, it's doing things. I can tell you, United States of America, there are people in the government who are doing things that they are not supposed to do. And the feeling about the law in America, it's very strong. So when people do something wrong, everybody wants to stop them. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's not one person doing something wrong. It's a big number of people, and it makes it hard. But there is a strong feeling in the people here about the law, and it's because they have lived a safe life and they had very much money to enjoy everything in the life. So um, they know that when something bad happens in the government and it will make life different, they feel this strongly and it makes it very hard for them. And they're in California. In California, the state in the United States of America, there's this big, beautiful city named Los Angeles, and there are big skyscraper buildings, and there's the most beautiful streets and shops and things that are worth thousands and thousands of dollars that you can buy there. And there are streets filled with tents where people who cannot find a job and make money to live in a home, they don't have money for a home, so they live on the streets. There are streets in this big, beautiful city of angels, Los Angeles, streets filled with tents, and just thousands of people, of Americans living on the streets in the tents. And there are cities of tents in the United States of America. But it did not feel like a big problem because people think that there is a way that the people who are hurting will get a better life. And they trust this, that those people can get a better life. So the American government has been talking a long time about the things that another country is doing. And the United States of America, its government feels it's important to everything Russia does and everything China does. We think it's important. We talk about it and we think it's important. Our money and our everything that we get because we need these things like food and things we need. We get them from these important places, China and Russia. We are talking a very long time about the things that China is doing. And we have a strong feeling in America, in the government. The government has this feeling. It's important to remember the government, it's having control of the army. And when you change the life of people in a land, the government and the army, it's two big things that change the life. So now we have the government, but it's controlling the army. It's, well, when they make a government, well, that all the people think that if we have a government, then we will have an army, but the army, it cannot do anything it wants. It's going with the government. So, and then the things that happen in the world, it's also the people that make the difference in the life. There are, there is big news in the world that there will be a difference in the life of anyone from any country. And it's this news and talk about the government and the army. So it means that there is a very, very big danger that the life of the people will be different because of anything this government or the armies are doing. So we know that the Russians, they want to do, they want to, they have an idea and a plan, and they have been doing this idea, and they have been doing all their plans. So we know what they like. We know what they like. So we know that um, something is going to happen next, and he is showing that he would like to do this thing in Ukraine. So we know it's going to, well, he would like to do that. So, oh, well, why not? He's going to do that. That's what he's going to do. Why not? Only if someone stopped him. Um, and so we have. I did not care about the news. I already know it's just very much um, waiting for this thing. So what they're talking about, it's not important. Um, so they're saying they're going to, uh, when any soldiers go into Ukraine from Russia, the United States of America said that it was going to do a sanctions. It was going to make a sanctions that were very hard, that it will make a difference in the life of the Russians and all of Europe and America. This is big news. Who can do this? Who can do these things in the world that's going to make life different for the people there? The governments. The governments are going to do something that it's, and they're going to have the army do these things. It's going to be so big, it's going to make a difference for everyone, and nobody knows what will happen in their life. They hope some things will happen and it's good for them. And maybe there's people anywhere and they are afraid and they think it's not good what will happen. I think the I think that people have been hurting for a long time in their life because there are governments and armies hurting them. And I think that these governments and armies, are very afraid of people that don't like them. And they know that there's very many people that don't like them. And I think that the only thing that can happen in the world is that anyone that's hurting someone, everyone is going to find him. He's going to have to run. He's going to have to hide. But people, when they don't feel safe, they need to make sure they are safe. They if you think you're not safe, you'll have to run. And you'll want to make yourself safe always. But if you hurt other people and you want to keep hurting other people, then you won't sleep safely. So that's a big problem. And because there's very many people hurting everywhere, um, they all need everything to be different in their life, where they are not hurting anymore. And with this, it's important to know about the armies. Um, one more thing, it's very important when you have armies coming, and all this time we've had all the governments very much changing and making a different life for people. The governments have, and in this time, the governments have made many different changes. But the armies, it's another new change in the life, and it's very important. The army, it's there to protect the law and the people and their money. So we want the army to make sure that when it comes and makes a difference for the life of people, that that changes, it's protection for their life and protection for the law and protection for the money. Those are what we need from the army. And so the army gives this, and it's helping the government, all the people's life now. So we don't want anything like if the army comes to the city, well, if anything happened bad to these people in this city, then the army it did not protect them. And that's the thing that's important. So there's one important thing about the news and all the things that will change the life of people and the things about danger and the things about making people safe. Now, if you know that if an army comes into your city, that you would go to jail because your family belongs to a different army, you would know that it's not safe to stay in that city where that army is. If an army comes to your city and you know this army will put you in jail because your family is not in his army and does not like his army, then you know you cannot live in any city where this army is. You know that any city this army is, it's not safe for you, and that if you stay here, you will go to jail and you will be hurting in jail and have a bad life in jail. But if only you have your own city, if you have your own city and you live in a different city, maybe it's the next city, but not this city. Only go to the next city and you will have freedom, and you will not be in jail, and you will not be hurt, and you will not uh, live a bad life only because you live in a different city, because this city likes you. But this city over here, the army does not like you. And that's why it will not protect you. And its laws will not protect you. And that means its government, it's not for you. And that means that you are in danger when you stay there. It's, it means that the army, it's, uh, the army, it's taken this city from the people.